When you're interviewing for a competitive role, one of the most important things that you need to do is wow the hiring manager and stand out as a great candidate. In today's video, I'm going to give you 5 quick things that you can do to stand out as an awesome candidate that they have to move forward. Let's go. Now, the first thing I want you to do is have meaningful information on how you're honing your craft. What are you doing to get better? A lot of people can tell you what they've accomplished or their skills or their education, but less candidates tell you about what they're doing to continuing getting better. And it's really important because every hiring manager wants to hire someone who is going to get better, is going to bring more to the table, and is going to have an increased responsibility or scope in the future. So one of the key ways that you can actually separate yourself from the average candidate is bring examples of what you are doing, maybe in your free time, or what you've done in terms of training and development to get better at your craft and your plan to continue doing so. If you watch a lot of my videos before, you know I am a huge fan on quantifying your impact. What have you done in previous roles? Doing this allows hiring managers to imagine what you might be able to do for them. So a good example of this is talking about a project that you had in the past. The key though is really talking about the outcome. You know, what did you do? Over what period of time did the impact occur, and then what was the financial impact? If you can talk about cost savings or reducing waste, and you can make it real for them by actually quantifying exactly what you did over what period of time and what the cost savings were, you're going to allow them to imagine the impact you can have for them. It is an incredibly powerful tool. Some of the lowest hanging fruit on being a great candidate is just coming off much more well-researched than your competition. It is one of those things that anybody can do. Anybody who want to put in the time can actually go to a company website, read about them, their story about them. If they're a publicly traded company, you could look at their 10K by searching their name and 10K. And then you'll pull up a report in which you're talking about company and strategy. Anybody can go to Google and type in the company name and then look for news and look for stories and actually find recent publications talking about the company, their strategy, acquisitions, mergers, etc. These are all things you can do. So if you want to separate yourself as a great candidate, come in with a ton of knowledge. You know, they're going to ask you questions like, what is it you find appealing about this company? That is a great way for you to name drop some of the information you were able to find while you were researching the company. Maybe that's something that they're a market they're going into. You can talk, one of the things that I found incredibly interesting was how you were moving into the machine learning space. Specifically how you did A, B, and C and blank, 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 right? If you can do that, the person interviewing you is going to think, wow, this person really knows their organization, they really put the time in, and I can see some serious alignment there. People don't use stories enough when they're interviewing. One of the more powerful tools you can use as a candidate is have a great story about a hobby that you have that is aligned to the role, right? So maybe you're in engineering and you tinker outside of the work, and you can talk about something you did that was incredibly challenging but was really rewarding. And if there's alignment between the role and that, it's very powerful. Maybe you're talking about coding. Maybe you're a developer and you can talk about a side project or an app that you're developing and some of the lessons you've learned and what you had to do to become proficient in this similar but different space. Whatever it is you do, if you can find a way to tie in things you're doing outside of work that are hobbies but are kind of role adjacent, that is another strong way to stand out as a great candidate. Now, if you're going to stand out as a great candidate, you better be ready to talk about compensation. This video is done, this one is not. This video is going to teach you everything you need to know about answering the question, what are your salary expectations? And if you're interviewing and you're interviewing well, you can absolutely expect to get it. Know how to answer it.